I asked a delivery guy to help me deliver a son. The delivery guy asked, "Who's it for?" "The sterile CEO," I said. "Aiden Grant." He was being forced to step down because he couldn't produce an heir, and his family was holding a press conference today to announce that his illegitimate half-brother would be inheriting the family business instead. The delivery guy arrived at the press conference, holding the baby high. "Who's Aiden Grant? Your special delivery, one biological son, has arrived. Could you sign for him, please? I'm in a hurry to get to my next drop-off." At the press conference, everyone's ears perked up in disbelief. Is this for real? Didn't Aiden Grant lose the ability to have kids? Otherwise, old Mr. Grant would never have tried to strip him of his inheritance and bring his illegitimate son into the picture. 3 years ago, during that earthquake, he got impaled by a steel bar during an aftershock while saving a child. He's been sterile ever since, the heirless CEO. Mr. Grant immediately announced to the public that he actually had another son, an illegitimate one, studying abroad. The family line wouldn't die out, and he would groom this other son to take over. 3 years flew by. Caleb, the once hidden illegitimate son, was now the golden boy. The moment he returned to the country, he began pressuring Aiden, the only legitimate son, to abdicate his position as CEO. Caleb mocked Aiden without restraint. "My dear brother, you can't blame me for this. Who told you to be infertile? Who told you to play the hero? When the earthquake hit, you should have run. Instead, you stayed at the epicenter and joined the rescue team. Haven't you ever heard that no good deed goes unpunished, and only the wicked live long? Saving some random kid cost you your ability to ever have children of your own. Man, brother, I almost feel sorry for you. How did your life get so screwed up? You were dealt a royal flush and completely blew it. I honestly thought that with an amazing older brother like you, I'd be stuck as the secret love child for the rest of my life. Who knew things would take such a turn? I basically won by doing nothing. Ha ha ha." At that moment, I happened to be at a nearby mall, working a gig in a furry costume to earn money for baby formula. I just had to pee. As I came out of the women's restroom, I overheard Caleb in the men's room, mocking my baby daddy. I was furious. I decided to do something big. I found out the Grant Corporation was holding a press conference today. I flagged down a delivery guy nearby. "I'll Venmo you $50 to make an express delivery to the Grant Corporation press conference. Can you do it?" The delivery guy asked me, "What are you sending?" I held out a chubby, rosy-cheeked little baby. "Deliver him to the sterile CEO, Aiden Grant. Tell him this is his biological son. If he doesn't believe you, tell him to get a paternity test." The delivery guy's eyes went wide. "For real? You're not messing with me, are you? You didn't kidnap this baby, did you? Everyone knows Aiden Grant can't have kids." I didn't know how to explain it to him. But then, the delivery guy's tones suddenly shifted. "I'll do it. I can't stand it when illegitimate kids steal the inheritance from the rightful heirs. Let's do something big today." 10 minutes later, just as Mr. Grant was announcing at the press conference that Aiden needed to rest and recuperate, and that the position of CEO would be transferred to Caleb, the delivery guy burst in and yelled, "Who is Aiden Grant? Your takeout son is here. Hurry up and sign for him, I've got another delivery to make, I'm in a rush." His words sent shockwaves through the room. The press conference instantly descended into chaos. Reporters swarmed the delivery guy, pointing their cameras at the baby he held high. One reporter shoved a microphone in his face. "Could you please repeat that? What are you delivering?" The delivery guy's voice boomed. "Aiden Grant's son. Don't interview me, I'm just the delivery guy. I don't know anything else. Where's Aiden Grant? Mr. Grant, your son is here. Can you please come sign for him? Chop chop, let's go, I'm on the clock here." I was live streaming from my phone just outside the venue, practically rolling on the ground with laughter. I could only imagine the looks on everyone's faces inside, especially that arrogant punk Caleb. And my baby daddy, Aiden. This whole story started a year ago. I'm a bunny shifter, a Scottish fold, to be precise. That night, it was that time of the month again, when my hormones go haywire. I was tossing and turning in my little bunny burrow, unable to sleep. So I shifted into my human form. I hopped on my electric scooter to go buy suppressants from the pharmacy. Even on the scooter, I was already feeling feverish. Distracted for a second, I forgot I was red-green colorblind and ran a red light. A Maybach swerved to avoid me, spinning its steering wheel and crashing head-on into a large truck speeding from the opposite direction. The Maybach went flying. Seeing no witnesses, the truck driver panicked and fled the scene. I quickly parked my scooter and ran to the Maybach to check on the situation. I found Aiden slumped in the driver's seat, barely breathing. "Hey, don't fall asleep." It took every ounce of my strength to pull Aiden out of the totaled car. I checked for his breath. It was faint, like he could go at any second. This was bad. By the time an ambulance got here, it would be too late. He'd gotten into this accident trying to avoid me when I ran the red light. In a moment of desperation, I could only bare my two little bunny teeth and sink them into his neck. He was lucky. During that time of the month, we Scottish fold bunny shifters have instant healing powers. "NGH, what are you doing?" "Let go." Aiden trembled from the pain. "Shut up if you don't want to die. Otherwise, I'll really do you." I was feeling extra fierce. After biting him, my whole body felt even hotter. This man was a work of art. That face, that chest, that waist, those legs. Every part of him was captivating. It was enough to make any bunny go bad. A dark and stormy night is the perfect time for a little mischief. The time, the place, the man, it was all perfectly aligned. I couldn't just let a man this delicious, served up on a silver platter, get away. Besides, his life was hanging by a thread. He was completely at my mercy. I remembered some trash talk I'd seen online. So what if he's a business genius? With that part of him broken, what wealthy socialite would want an empty shell? I licked my dry lips. The internet trolls might not want him, but a hormonally charged me certainly did. Besides, his equipment might be broken, but mine wasn't. A man just has to lie back and think of England. I'll handle the rest. A strong woman like me has plenty of power. My hormones were raging. I really couldn't take it anymore. On impulse, I shoved him back into the Maybach. Everything that happened after that was chaotic and intense. "You, what are you doing? How dare you? Who said you could touch me?" "Bold. You're still touching me." He was being too noisy, so I swiftly ripped off his tie and blindfolded him with it. I leaned in, bit his bobbing Adam's apple, and said with audacious daring, "Shut up. I saved you, so you're mine to sleep with." Torn clothes, burning skin, heavy breathing. And my wild, untamed movements. Aiden was like a small boat in a hurricane. Tossed onto the crest of a wave, then slammed back down. Only his out-of-control heartbeat grew stronger and stronger. As if to signal that he was slowly coming back to life. I was the one who pulled him back from the brink of death. A healthy flush finally replaced the deathly pallor on his face. Beads of sweat trickled down his muscular chest. Damn, I was drooling all over him. When it all calmed down, I vaguely heard the sound of an ambulance siren. In a panic, I pulled up my pants and ran. Before hopping on my scooter to escape, I threw out a dramatic, boss-like declaration for good measure. "Remember, a man I've marked, even a sterile one, has to stay faithful to me. In return, this bunny will protect you for life." At the time, Aiden probably thought nothing of it. I never thought there'd come a day when I'd actually have to protect him at a critical moment. To be honest, I didn't expect it either. I thought I could have my fun with him with no consequences. After all, the internet said he was the sterile CEO, so I didn't have to worry about birth control. Who knew I'd end up with morning sickness? You've got to be kidding me. What happened to being unable to have kids? Well, since I was pregnant, I'd have the baby. For a strong, independent woman, single motherhood is a blast. So, I had a litter of little bunnies. Septuplets. 7 in one go. 6 of them were still in their bunny forms. So fluffy, pink, and cute. Only the youngest, number 7, stubbornly maintained his human baby form. He probably takes after his dad. I never planned to use my son to climb the social ladder. But that little punk Caleb was bullying my baby daddy. Aiden was a man I had marked. That made him my man. This bunny's biggest flaw is that I'm fiercely protective of my own. My second biggest flaw is that I love a little chaos. The press conference was in total pandemonium. Only Aiden remained seated, perfectly still. He simply didn't believe the child was his. But his mother, Mrs. Grant, had already stood up, strode over to the delivery guy, and taken the baby, crying tears of joy. This child looks exactly like Aiden did when he was born. This is definitely my grandson. There's no doubt. Henry, do you see this? She yelled at his father. I have a grandson. Do you still dare to say Aiden isn't fit to be the heir to this company? It was the ultimate comeback. First, Mrs. Grant had to face the fact that her son was sterile, then endure her husband's betrayal, and on top of that, watch an illegitimate son walk all over her own child. She had been holding it in for far too long. She didn't care if the baby was really her grandson or not. She was holding little 7 and ready to go on the warpath. Mr. Grant, the chairman, quickly stepped down from the stage to see the child. Aiden, what is going on? Aiden remained calm and composed, sitting without moving a muscle. The reporters swarmed him, firing off all sorts of questions. Mr. Grant, is this really your biological son? Weren't you unable to have children? Who is the mother? Mr. Grant, are you just bringing in a random baby to disrupt today's conference because your position is threatened? Mr. Grant, what does it feel like to be sterile? Aiden didn't answer a single question. Only Caleb was losing his mind. Dad, we have no idea where this kid came from. Who knows if she and my brother just grabbed a random baby to stir up trouble. Too bad for them, it won't work. The second that paternity test comes back, they'll be exposed. You should just hurry up and announce that I'll be taking over for my brother as the new CEO of the Grant Corporation. Mrs. Grant walked over to Caleb, holding the baby. She raised her hand and slapped him hard across the face. What paternity test? This is my grandson, the real deal. I can tell just by looking at him. Caleb almost hit her back but restrained himself in front of the crowd. Dad, look at how desperate they are. They don't dare to do a paternity test. There's no way this child is my brother's. Aiden suddenly stood up, ignoring everyone. He strode out of the press conference. As if he wanted no part in the farce. His departing figure looked so forlorn and hurt, it was heartbreaking. The live cameras followed his back until he disappeared through a side door, surrounded by bodyguards. The internet was buzzing. Someone tagged Aiden online. Mr. Grant, if you had another chance, would you still have rushed into the epicenter to save that child? If you hadn't, you wouldn't have to be pulling this fake son stunt today just to save face. Aiden's reply was short and to the point. Yes. TSK. That's my 7 baby's father for you. But why isn't he getting a paternity test? Who said little 7 is a fake son? If my other 6 bunny babies could shift into human form right now, I'd send all of them over. I bought 2 cans of formula at the mall and was about to head back to my bunny burrow on my beloved electric scooter when 2 bodyguards blocked my path. Their presence was powerful, respectful but firm. Miss, our Mr. Grant would like to see you. What? Why would he want to see me? Do we know each other? I was startled. I didn't mind giving Aiden a son, but I had no intention of exposing myself. How did they find me so fast? The bodyguard said, we've already tracked you as the person who hired the delivery guy to bring the baby to the press conference. This way, please. I had no way out. I could only brace myself and go meet my baby daddy, Aiden. He was sitting in that same repaired Maybach. When he saw me, he was just as stunned. "It's you?" I gave him an awkward smile. "Hey, fancy meeting you here again." Aiden's perpetually calm face finally showed a flicker of emotion. "You're the one who gave birth to the child?" Before I could answer, Aiden's tone shifted again. "Impossible. I can't have children." The disappointment in his voice was palpable. I held my breath, and with a pop, my two fluffy, pink bunny ears sprang out from my head. I gave them a little wiggle. "I'm not a regular woman. I'm a bunny shifter. If you don't believe me, you can touch them." He actually reached out and touched them, making my cheeks flush pink. Damn it. I forgot you can't just let people touch your bunny ears. It makes you want things. Aiden immediately pulled his hand back. To my surprise, his ears turned bright red too. He cleared his throat, looking away. "You never change. It's a normal biological reaction, okay?" If I were to touch you, my eyes traveled up his long, sculpted legs, and I rubbed my hands together shyly. "You think you wouldn't react?" Aiden got the message instantly. He shifted to block my view, his gaze sharp and his tone full of anguish. "What kind of woman are you? Stop staring. What's wrong with looking? A CEO getting this shy?" "I've done more than just look. I've touched him all over, more than 3 times. He takes such good care of his body that I still can't forget the feeling. Don't most men take pride in sleeping with women? So why is it that when a strong woman like me is proud of it, the man gets all bent out of shape?" The blush on his handsome face just made me want to tease him more. A sudden phone ring interrupted my alpha female gaze. It was Mrs. Grant. "Aiden, where are you? Get out of there. Your father has sent people to find you. He's insisting on a paternity test for you and the baby. He says he won't allow a child of unknown origin to pollute the Grant family bloodline." Ha! As if he can talk, bringing home an illegitimate son of his own. "This plan of yours to have the delivery guy bring the baby was brilliant, but you need to lay low for a while. Don't let your father find you. Buy a plane ticket and go on a long vacation abroad. You've worked yourself to the bone for the company you haven't had a break in forever. Take this chance to relax. As long as you're not here, he can question it all he wants, but there's nothing he can do. I'll just insist that this is my grandson. What's he going to do about it? Why should he get to torment me, and I can't torment him back? I'm going to use this baby to drive him absolutely crazy." Mrs. Grant's voice was like a machine gun, full of fighting spirit. But then Aiden glanced at me and said something unexpected. "I'm coming back to do the paternity test right now." Huh? What? Why would you come back now and make things more complicated? His mom was stunned, completely caught off guard. Aiden hung up and asked me in a low voice. "Are you sure the child is mine?" I was getting tired of his questions, so I just pounced on him. "Keep asking, and I'll devour you all over again." Aiden blushed again. He grabbed my 2 mischievous hands, his large palms enveloping mine, his fingers long and strong. "Stop fooling around. I'm taking you home." My wicked thoughts persisted. His chest was just too tempting. "What home? I want it now. You can blame yourself for touching my bunny ears." I thought Aiden would kick me out of the car, but instead, he looked at me with a mixture of doubt and genuine innocence and asked, "Does touching your ears really make you feel this way?" I lied through my teeth. "If someone touched you like that, could you stay calm? I'm telling you, if I don't get my way, it's going to be unbearable. Right now, I'm staring at your chest, and I have this desperate urge to press myself against it. I can't stop these wicked thoughts. It's all your fault for being the first man I ever marked. I only have these feelings for you. My mind is completely filled with you." To my shock, Aiden actually believed me. He was silent for a moment, as if preparing himself mentally. Just as I was about to give up, he suddenly said, If you're really that uncomfortable and can't relieve it, then I'll let you press against my chest. At most. Just a little. You need to learn to control your desires. Don't become a slave to your urges. Oh my God, what kind of innocent CEO is this? Is he really this gullible? No wonder guys love feeding women sweet nothings. Hiss, pant. Without a second thought, I ripped open his shirt collar and pressed my entire face against his chest, wanting to take a bite. Aiden immediately pressed the button for the privacy partition. He spoke to the driver, trying to sound calm and collected. Drive. Home. Aiden brought me home, where chaos had already erupted. Caleb pointed a finger at my nose and laughed. Brother, bringing back a kid of unknown origin wasn't enough for you? Now you've brought back some wild woman. Don't tell me you're going to tell Dad that she's the hero who gave you a son. Crack. I snapped the finger he was pointing at my nose. Then I kicked him across the room. Don't you yell at me. I've been afraid of barking dogs since I was a child. We violent bunnies believe in immediate revenge. Never let it wait until morning. You bully my man, you get my fist. Caleb hit the ground hard. He let out a blood-curdling scream. Ah, you bitch. You dare hit me? Get her out of here. I immediately hid behind Aiden. You use a man's back when you need it. I'm here to be reckless, the rest is up to him. What's the point of a man who can't back me up? Luckily, Aiden was useful. As two bodyguards approached, he shot them a cold, dismissive glance. Who dares? This house hasn't fallen into Caleb's hands yet. Remember who you work for. The two bodyguards immediately bowed, apologized, and retreated to a corner. When gods fight, mortals like them just want to stay out of it. I peeked out from behind Aiden and stuck my tongue out at Caleb. I'm just that childish. Go ahead, hit me if you dare. Enough. Mr. Grant, sitting on the sofa, finally spoke. What kind of trashy woman did you bring home? Aiden took my hand and walked up to his father. She's not a trashy woman. She's the mother of my child. Aiden seemed to have just remembered to ask me. What's your name? Lily Lane. Aiden formally reintroduced me. Her name is Lily Lane. She is the mother of my child. Mr. Grant almost coughed up blood from anger. You don't even know her name, and you're claiming she's the mother of your child? That baby really isn't my grandson. Aiden, how long are you going to keep up this nonsense? Hasn't the Grant family been humiliated enough because of you? I did not like the sound of that. I pulled Aiden behind me and gave Mr. Grant a massive eye roll. How has Aiden been a humiliation? Is losing the ability to have children while saving a child in an earthquake something to be ashamed of? He didn't let anyone down, yet the whole world let him down. Did you ask for my permission? Let me read your fortune. You're critically low on morals and your destiny is to be a jackass. You're not worthy of being my son's grandfather. Just because you're sick in the head doesn't mean you get to prescribe crap for everyone else. If your mouth is that bored, go lick a toilet bowl. Stop spewing garbage here. Mr. Grant was furious. What did you say? I said I've seen toilets in the bathroom, but never in someone's mouth. Your mouth is like a busted sewer pipe, just spraying filth everywhere. You only get one face. Maybe you should try not to lose it so often. Mr. Grant had probably never been talked to like this in his entire life. Unable to win the argument, he glared at his son. This is the woman you brought back? But the corners of Aiden's mouth were twitching upwards. He tried to suppress it and gently reason with me. Before he could speak, I stood on my tiptoes and gave him a hard kiss. You be quiet for a minute and let me talk. I don't usually curse people out. The ones I curse out aren't people. Did a donkey spend all day kicking your dad in the head or something? Politeness is precious, but not everyone deserves it. I'll give your dad the attitude he deserves. No one is going to drain my energy. I'm just going to go wild. You'd need a decade-long case of brain rot to come up with the kind of stunt your dad just pulled. Ha ha ha. Son, is this the daughter-in-law you brought back? Mrs. Grant came down the stairs, holding the baby. The look in her eyes when she saw me was like seeing a long-lost ray of light. She immediately stuffed a big red envelope into my hands. Lily, dear, a little something for our first meeting. Don't mind that it's small. I felt it. It was thick. My face immediately broke into a smile. No wonder Aiden is so handsome, he got all his good genes from you. You look like a goddess. It's true what they say, beautiful women appreciate each other. Caleb scrambled up from the floor and went to support Mr. Grant, who looked like he was about to have a stroke from my verbal assault. Dad, have them do the paternity test now. As soon as it proves the baby has no blood relation to my brother, this wild woman won't have a place to be so arrogant in this house. Caleb shot me a vicious glare. As if to say, just you wait, your little act is about to be over. Mrs. Grant was extremely nervous. She clutched little Seven and refused to let the staff from the DNA testing center take a sample. I deftly plucked a strand of baby hair from Seven's head, pulled a strand from my own, and even snatched one from a hesitant Aiden's head, handing them all to the technician. Test away. True gold fears no fire. If this test proves the baby is really Aiden's, then any stray cat or dog illegitimate son can get the hell out of my sight. After the technician left with the DNA samples, I took Seven to Aiden's room to feed him. Aiden, ever the gentleman, turned his back to me, his eyes respectfully averted. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You were pregnant and gave birth, and I wasn't there to take care of you. I didn't fulfill my duties. Giving birth alone, it must have been really hard, right? Oh, wow. Why is he feeling so guilty? What are you feeling guilty about? I wasn't planning on telling you anyway. For a strong, independent woman, having a baby on my own and ditching the dad is the best. Aiden's tone suddenly dropped. Ditching the dad? You weren't going to let me be responsible? I told him the truth. Yeah, that was the original plan. But seeing you get bullied by that illegitimate brother of yours, I changed my mind. You're the man I've got under my protection. If I don't protect you, who will? I promise to protect you for life, and I never go back on my word. Aiden suddenly spun around. His gaze accidentally landed on my chest, where little Seven was nursing. His face flushed scarlet. He quickly averted his eyes, moving so fast he almost twisted his neck. His voice was hoarse and tight, his words jumbled. You, I'll go out first. Seven had just finished eating. I put my shirt back down. I fell onto his bed, laughing hysterically. Aiden, have you really never been with a woman before? You're so adorable. Lily Lane. Aiden, furious and embarrassed, flipped over and pinned me beneath him. My legs instinctively wrapped around his waist. Aiden's body stiffened, and all his intimidating aura dissolved into a blush. He took a deep breath, trying to regain a shred of his CEO authority. After a long pause, he managed to choke out 3 words. Did it hurt? What? When you were giving birth. I wasn't there with you. You were all alone in the delivery room, helpless. Did it hurt? Ugh. I turned my head away, not wanting to get into it. It's all in the past. Aiden turned my face back to his. His eyes were full of apology. My mother said that when she gave birth to me, she was alone in the delivery room. My dad was out of town on business and couldn't get back in time. She felt like a piece of meat with no dignity, lying there, unable to live and unable to die. Right then, I swore to myself. When my future wife gives birth, I will be by her side the entire time, so she won't be so alone and helpless. I'm sorry. I failed. Damn, why is he getting so real all of a sudden? It's making my nose tingle. I mumbled, trying to sound casual, well, you don't have to feel guilty. I'm not your wife. Aiden suddenly gripped my wrist tighter. A storm was brewing in his eyes. My mother had an unhappy marriage. I won't let myself become a scumbag like my father. Lily, you may have started this accident, but you don't get to decide how it ends all by yourself. He stared at me, his eyes turning red. I know you saved me a year ago. You snatched me from the jaws of death after that car crash. Why did you just pull up your pants and leave? Were you that afraid I'd latch onto you? Can I just say I was afraid you'd beat me up? I rubbed my nose, feeling a little guilty. So, how do you want me to take responsibility? Aiden said something utterly shocking. Marriage first, love later. Let's go get our marriage license. But my only thought recently has been, get money, get paid. Formula is so expensive, and I have 7 mouths to feed at home. Aiden seemed to sense my hesitation and played his trump card. After we get married, you can touch my chest whenever you want. You can do whatever you want to me, anytime. Hesitating for even a second would be a disrespect to the quality of those pecs. I immediately put both hands on him, speaking in a fierce but cute voice. Don't tempt me, I can't resist. As I shamelessly groped him, I asked Aiden. If I hadn't shown up to save the day, were you just going to let your illegitimate brother walk all over you? I don't want a man with no backbone. Aiden's handsome face was no longer just shy. It was now radiating with ambitious light. I was planning to take my team and start my own company. If the old man won't give me the family business, I'll build my own empire. If I don't have a mountain to lean on, I'll become the mountain. I am my own strongest backer. Damn, no wonder they say a man focused on his career is the most attractive. Just hearing him say it is intoxicating. Aiden continued, when I came back from college 5 years ago, the Grant Corporation was already going downhill. The cash flow almost dried up. It was my ability that brought it back from the dead over these past 5 years. I can bring it to life, and I can let it die. Caleb wants to inherit the family business. I was originally planning to hand him an empty shell of a company, but now I've changed my mind. I want to protect what's mine, and I want to build my own empire. Adults don't have to choose. I'll take both. I patted Aiden's broad chest. You go for it, boldly. Leave the crazy stuff to me. I guarantee it'll be a madhouse. Ah, the feeling of his chest against my face is just irresistible. Aiden suddenly leaned in and kissed me. It was a very restrained kiss. But it was enough to make my bunny ears pop out. He froze for a second, then let out a muffled laugh. He leaned close to my sensitive, floppy ears and whispered. Today was the first time I saw someone pull me behind them and roast my dad until he was fuming. Lily Bunny, being protected by you feels really good. What Lily Bunny? My name is Lily Lane. Aiden refused to change it, as if he was addicted to the nickname. Lily Bunny, how do you manage to be so cute and so fierce at the same time? It's called range, buddy. I can be sweet and I can be savage. The paternity test results came back 3 days later. Caleb, convinced that Aiden was sterile, had tipped off the media, inviting a horde of reporters to their home to witness the historic moment. Facing the cameras, he put on a fake, sympathetic act. I understand my brother. Suddenly losing the ability to have children and then having his CEO position taken away by dad, it's a heavy blow to accept. That's why he found some wild woman to fake a baby to pass off as his own. But being born an illegitimate son isn't my fault. If my brother could inherit the family business, would never fight him for it. I swear I would pack my bags and go back to Europe immediately and never appear before him again. But unfortunately, reality doesn't allow for that. My dad is getting old. He wants to hold a grandchild, to have a successor. I can only accept this heavy responsibility in this time of crisis. But I promise, in the future, I will have my son take care of my brother in his old age. My son will be like a son to him. Gag me. What a load of sanctimonious crap. I walked in with Aiden and had to applaud. Well said. It sounds just like a fart. Caleb, Lily Lane, watch your mouth. This is a high society home, not a place for you to talk about crap and piss. I wasn't afraid of him. If it weren't for the live cameras on me, forcing me to maintain a sliver of decorum, I would have literally thrown shit. My words might be harsh, but you're not exactly someone who deserves to hear nice things. A high society home has even less room for a mistress's son to spout nonsense in front of the legal wife and the legitimate heir. Who are you trying to impress here? My baby daddy will only be taken care of by my son in his old age. Who the hell is your son to think he's worthy of being Aiden's heir? The reporters all turned their cameras to me. This young lady is. Mrs. Grant cut in first. This is my daughter-in-law. What daughter-in-law? I haven't even said yes to Aiden. But this wasn't the time to argue when we needed a united front. The butler suddenly announced from the doorway. Mr. Grant, the paternity test report has arrived. That put a stop to all the bickering. Aiden's dad took the file from the butler. Everyone held their breath. Except me, of course. Mrs. Grant's face was clouded with worry. She leaned in and whispered to me, "Lily, hurry and take the baby and run out the back door. Seeing you roast everyone in the house these past few days has been enough for me. Leave the rest to me and Aiden." Aiden squeezed my hand tightly. "Mom, I trust Lily. She wouldn't lie to me." Mrs. Grant was frantic. "Don't get Lily in trouble. When the results come out, your dad will kill her. I had so many experts look at your condition. Son, sometimes you just have to accept fate." But then, the next second, Mr. Grant pulled the thin sheet of paper from the file. Caleb eagerly leaned in to look. He wanted to deliver the final blow to Aiden. He snatched the paternity report, held it up to the reporters' cameras, not even trying to hide his triumphant excitement. "Everyone, please look. This is the paternity report between my brother and that wild child. I'm sure it clearly states that there is no biological father-son relationship. Reporters, please zoom in, focus on the result of the paternity test." Before he could finish, a reporter gasped. "The probability of paternity is greater than 99%. Oh my God, it really is his son. Mr. Grant isn't sterile after all." Caleb's expression shattered. He looked down, his eyes glued to the results. How is this possible?" Mrs. Grant rushed over, snatched the report, and was overcome with joy, her face alight with elation. She was dizzy with surprise. "Ha ha ha. It really is my grandson. It's real." Tears streamed down her face. Caleb roared, "Impossible. This report must be a fake my brother cooked up. I don't believe it." I pulled Aiden to stand before Mr. Grant. "Now, tell me. Who are you giving the family business to? In front of all the media, give us your answer." When Aiden couldn't have children, Mr. Grant could change the heir. His family really did have a throne to pass down, after all. But now that Aiden had a son, no matter how much Mr. Grant favored his illegitimate child, he would be drowned in public criticism. The Grant Corporation's stock price would also teach him a lesson. Sure enough, Mr. Grant's expression changed instantly. He clapped Aiden's shoulder with a weighty, meaningful air. "Aiden, do a good job. The Grant Corporation will have to rely on you from now on." Aiden sneered, his gaze falling on Caleb. "And him? I'll send Caleb abroad. He won't be a bother to you in the future." Caleb broke down, rushing over to beg Mr. Grant. "Dad, you promised me. You promised you'd let me run the company. You can't go back on your word. Modern law says illegitimate children have inheritance rights too. Why are you sending me abroad?" Aiden suddenly pulled out a folder and handed it to his dad. "Because of this." Although I didn't know what was inside, it was apparently enough to force Mr. Grant's hand. He immediately shut the folder. What are you trying to do? Stage a rebellion?" "Aiden, you can think of it that way. If you don't put him on a plane immediately, my patience might run out." Mr. Grant was fuming but had to suppress it. He immediately called for the bodyguards. Men. Get Caleb to the airport right now. Not a moment's delay. Hurry up, now, immediately. No, I don't want to go. Amidst blood-curdling screams, Caleb was carried out. I was ready to enjoy the show. But Aiden suddenly pulled me to face the cameras. I'd like to formally introduce everyone. The woman by my side, Lily Lane, is the mother of my child. We will be getting married soon. Hey. Who said yes? That night, I packed my things and ran. I shifted into my bunny form and scurried back to my burrow. Thank goodness we shifters can change forms at will. The only unfortunate thing was that I had to leave little Seven at the Grant house. Mainly because he couldn't turn into a little bunny. There was no way to stuff him into a bunny hole. Not like my other 6 bunny babies, who were tough and easy to raise. Who knew that very night, Aiden would raid my entire burrow? An irresistible force lifted me out of my rabbit hole. My entire Scottish fold body froze in Aiden's palm. Aiden was kneeling on one knee in front of the burrow, his expensive suit pants stretched taut, outlining his powerful thighs. How was I supposed to handle a scene like this? This was a major crime scene in the making. I gulped hard. Aiden noticed where my gaze had landed, but he didn't shy away in embarrassment like before. The man had somehow figured it out on his own. Like what you see? Then why did you run? You can run from the monk, but can you run from the temple? I was not convinced, completely baffled. How did you find my bunny burrow? Aiden's eyes were fixed on the pendant hanging around my neck. He had given it to me when I was at the Grant house. I think I understood. Aha. You put a tracker in the pendant, didn't you? I knew it, you rich people are all shady. You stalker. Aiden's eyes were mournful. You can punish me however you want, but please, just don't leave me and our son. Before I could answer him, the bodyguard who came with Aiden shouted in surprise. Mr. Grant, there are 6 more little bunnies in here. One by one, they excitedly hopped out of the burrow. They bounced and jumped around Aiden, lining up in a row. Mommy, is this our daddy? Is little Seven with daddy? Daddy is so tall. Daddy's pants are so cool. Can I climb them? Daddy, hold me. The scene was overwhelmingly cute. Oh, crap. I forgot about the 6 little traitors at home. Fluffy, pink, and staring straight at Aiden. They tilted their little heads up, chirping in their tiny voices. Their eyes were filled with excitement and undisguised affection. Aiden was completely dumbfounded. Totally frozen in place. He remained kneeling, holding me in one hand, the other hovering in mid-air, unsure which bunny to touch first. His eyes were wide with shock and disbelief. And that damn, almost dazed tenderness. He swallowed hard, as if afraid that breathing too heavily would scare the 6 little bunnies. Lily Bunny, what is this? Who are they? What did they just call me? Lily Bunny, how many did you have? Is it too late to play dead? We Scottish folds are just this fertile. Is it my fault? Actually, I had known Aiden for a long time. 3 years ago, during that major earthquake, I was also a member of the disaster response team. We bunny shifters are experts at digging tunnels. As a specialist on the team, I and several other shifter teammates with digging abilities were urgently dispatched to a heavily affected area that large machinery couldn't reach. When the earthquake hit, it was nap time at a kindergarten. The teachers couldn't evacuate the sleeping children quickly enough. The building collapsed, and many children were buried alive. My teammates and I were responsible for digging a life-saving tunnel to the trapped children, pulling them out one by one. Everything was going smoothly. I thought we would complete our mission perfectly. But when the last rescued teacher did a head count, she realized one child was missing. She was frantic. With a deep rumble, an aftershock shook the ground again. The tunnel we had just cleared was buried once more. The building's structure was too fragile for another dig. Everyone was at a loss when Aiden suddenly stepped forward. I'll go. I studied architecture. I understand building structures better than anyone. I need one comrade from the shifter team. You dig where I point, and we'll find that last child together. As the shifter team captain, I said, I'll go with you. But at the time, we were both in full rescue gear, with masked helmets and goggles. We couldn't see each other's faces, only recognizing each other by our uniforms and numbers. So he didn't remember that we had fought side by side. We finally found the isolated little girl. She was trapped under a fractured concrete slab, which had formed a small triangular space. The slab was teetering precariously. It was held up only by a few twisted steel bars. The child was curled into a ball, too scared to even cry loudly. Another aftershock hit. The already unstable slab completely lost its balance. In the heat of the moment, Aiden threw himself over the child, using his back to create a safe space for her. The entire slab crashed down on him. He roared at me to pull the child away. I rushed over and dragged the child out. But then I saw blood instantly soaking through Aiden's pants. Only then did I realize a steel bar had pierced straight through them. He gritted his teeth against the pain. Get the child out of here. Now. My voice was hoarse. What about you? When he spoke again, his voice was broken with pain. I can hold on a little longer. Go, save one while you can. Before the tunnel collapses again. I dug frantically with my bare hands. Shut up. I'm getting both of you out of here. Unfortunately, by the time we got Aiden out, he had already lost consciousness. He was carried away on a stretcher, and I heard no more news of him. It was 2 months later that I saw online that Aiden was being mocked as the sterile CEO, and that Mr. Grant had even announced he had an illegitimate son to inherit the family business. How ironic. A hero bleeds, only to lose everything. What kind of bullshit is that? Did the Grant family even deserve his sacrifice? I once tried to add him as a friend through the disaster response team's group chat. I wanted to comfort him but didn't know what to say. Finally, I typed a line. Me, hey, 23, remember me? I'm 51. Those were our call signs from our rescue uniforms. A code that belonged only to the two of us, a bond forged in the rubble between life and death. Aiden remembered me. Long time no see, 51. Me, 23, you have to remember, no matter how cold this world gets, you will find your own warmth. Aiden, I'm fine. Thanks for the kind words. Me, do you regret it? Aiden, never. The world might be cold, but his passion remained. I never thought that, a year later, on that hormone-fueled night, the man I ran a red light on, the man I dragged half dead from a Maybach, would be him again. Aiden found the contact saved as 51 in his messages and initiated a video call. My phone rang. He paused, a look of delighted surprise on his face. So, you knew who I was all along? That night, a year ago, you saved me, you took me, you marked me, was it because you recognized me? I felt a little awkward under his gaze and turned my head away. That night was mainly the hormones. Aiden chuckled softly. His fingers gently pinched my sensitive bunny ears. Just the hormones? Are you sure you didn't have a thing for me already? I remember you were the first to like the few posts I occasionally put on my feed. Can you not be so narcissistic? My words were tough, but my face betrayed me, turning red against my will. I quickly changed the subject. I told you not to pinch my ears. Anyway, this is the situation. These 6 little bunnies are mine. Are you sure you can accept a shifter as your partner? And a whole litter of bunnies as your children? Aiden's answer was to pack us all up and take us home that very night. Squeak, squeak. Daddy, Daddy, is this our new home? 6 fluffy little heads eagerly poked out, curiously observing the luxurious Grant villa. Mrs. Grant gasped. Oh my goodness, where did all these adorable little bunnies come from? They're so cute. Mr. Grant, however, frowned. Aiden, what are you up to now? Why did you bring a litter of rabbits home? Aiden ignored his father's question. He carefully lifted me, the Scottish fold bunny, from his pocket and placed me on the sofa. Then, with a poof, I changed back into my human form. Me, hello. Surprise. Your daughter-in-law is a bunny shifter. The living room fell completely silent. I didn't care what kind of horror I had just created. An extrovert is never embarrassed, they just control the room. Let me introduce myself properly. I'm Lily Lane, species, Scottish fold bunny shifter. These 6 little bunnies, plus 7, are all Aiden's and my children. Septuplets. 6 are still in their bunny forms for now, they take after me. 7 is more like his dad. After that, I pulled Aiden upstairs, leaving the 6 little bunnies to bond with their grandmother. Aiden had promised me I could touch him as soon as we got home. Like a wild horse let loose, I pushed him down onto the big bed. Wild and untamed. Pecs, here I come. I was going to toss Aiden around like a small boat in a hurricane. We alpha females are just that badass. I heard that Caleb, unwilling to be exiled abroad, was always plotting a comeback. But then he got into a car accident and became sterile himself. I don't know if the heavens heard my daily curses, but he was completely cast aside. Mr. Grant flew into a rage, questioning Aiden. Did you arrange for this? God is my witness, if only Aiden had that kind of dark heart. The real mastermind was my mother-in-law, Mrs. Grant. That's right, it was me. So what? Let's get a divorce. I'm done sharing a bed with you. Lily was right. We strong women don't need to put up with this crap. When a man cheats, you kick him to the curb. Even when you're old, you have to live for yourself. It's never too late to cut your losses. Mr. Grant exploded, pointing at me and calling me a menace who had corrupted his wife and loved chaos. He demanded that Aiden divorce me. Aiden had already completely sidelined his father at the Grant Corporation. Dad, how about I find you a nice island to retire on? What did you say? Aiden, isn't that what you decided to do to me? Force me to step down, then send me to an island for the rest of my life, never to compete with my illegitimate brother. You were planning to imprison me for life, weren't you? Mr. Grant recoiled in horror. I wasn't. You dare commit patricide? Aiden, of course not. I secretly visited the island you chose for me. The accommodations are top-notch, perfect for retirement. Men, send my father off. Later, Mr. Grant would often call, saying he missed his grandchildren, but Aiden remained unmoved. Mrs. Grant, on the other hand, became more vibrant than ever. Freed from serving the old coot, she spent her days at home with a litter of bunny grandchildren, happier than ever. She even started picking up her old hobbies again, as if she had been reborn. Aiden and I are officially dating now, marriage first, love later. Who would have thought that the decisive, terse Grant Corporation CEO would be such a clingy boyfriend? He's a super busy guy, but he's always finding spare moments to text me. With other people, his replies are short and to the point, every word precious. Okay. Received. 3 p.m., conference room. Concise, efficient, radiating the cold ruthlessness of a capitalist. But my chat window looks like this. Babe, what are you doing? I miss you. This meeting is so boring. I want to go home and cuddle my bunny. Forwarding a funny video. This looks like you that time you almost burned down the kitchen. Sometimes when I'm busy and don't reply right away, he turns into a pouty, passive-aggressive little thing. Did your internet go out? It's fine, you can reply to my message in your next life. Wow, I feel so important. Are you consulting an astrologer for the perfect time to chat with me? What's the prison sentence for replying to texts in a timely manner where you are? I ignore him. I'm not going to enable that behavior, especially when he's just recycling memes at me. Until Aiden finally got a clue. Whenever he thought of me, he started sending me pictures of his abs or his chest. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who can resist that? Through a thin white shirt, you could see those full, firm, powerful pecs. A hungry girl like me has to reply instantly. Hiss, pant. Me, I wanna bite it. Aiden, miss me, babe? This one was even worse. He had clearly just finished a workout. Droplets of water trickled down his V-lines, disappearing into a very suggestive place. Suddenly, I wasn't tired anymore. This was the good stuff. Me, send location. Now. Immediately. Aiden called me, his deep, magnetic voice like a feather tickling my ear. And he actually sent me his location. I sped off in my flashy, limited edition sports car, happily heading to our rendezvous. It turned out to be a resort cabin, with an incredible view. Through the window, I could see Aiden in an apron, showing off his cooking skills in the kitchen. Oh man, a man who can cook is a 10/10. When did you get such a great hideaway? I bought it 3 years ago. When I'm in a bad mood, I like to come here alone for some peace and quiet. Oh, you're in a bad mood today? Tell me who bullied you. I'll destroy them. I promised to protect him for life, and I never go back on my word. Aiden laughed at my antics and pulled me into his arms. He couldn't help but kiss the top of my head. Silly. I was talking about the past. Before, I thought this place was big and quiet enough to hold all my troubles. Now that I have my own little source of warmth, I don't need a safe harbor anymore. I just wanted to bring my bunny to see the view. We're having hot pot tonight. The sound of simmering broth bubbled from the kitchen. Well, what can I say? The mood was set. Suddenly, both my mouths were hungry. We sat in the mountaintop cabin, dipping slices of beef and lamb, listening to music, and watching the sunset. It was pure bliss. Rich people really know how to live. As night fell and the stars filled the sky, we lost ourselves in each other, forgetting the world. We even made plans to watch the sunrise the next morning. TSK, TSK. Youth is wasted on the young, and the energetic. I thought Aiden was just spontaneously taking me for a little getaway in the mountains, but I was wrong. When we returned to the big villa the next day, an even bigger surprise was waiting. Somehow, no one had told me the family was throwing a party. There were so many guests, all with unconcealable excitement in their eyes. It turned out Aiden had tricked me into a night in the mountains so he could decorate the house for a romantic proposal behind my back. In front of our friends and family, he knelt on one knee, holding up a huge, gorgeous diamond ring, and asked me with sincerity and devotion. Lily, thank you for coming into my world. You made me understand that even when the world treats you with coldness, an unexpected warmth can be enough to melt the ice. The most powerful force in this world is having someone who would go crazy for you, just to protect you. From then on, I had the strongest armor, and also my greatest weakness. That person is you, my bunny queen. Lily Lane, will you marry me? I thought, what's with the surprise attack? Did he rehearse these lines? He delivered them so smoothly it made my eyes want to pee. So pathetic. It's just a little scene, nothing I can't handle. I gave him my hand. I watched as Aiden slid the beautiful ring onto my finger. All our friends and family started cheering. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I turned the tables, immediately cupping the back of Aiden's head with one hand, tilting his chin with the other, and kissing him deeply. Heh. A strong woman like me can't lose her cool in a little scene like this.